because it's good. There you go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Because we were dealing with that, with the money and all that stuff. I don't have rights to all that stuff, so it's easier if I go ahead and just do it that way.
Okay. Well, let's cheers again. That was weak.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And welcome to another episode of Marlon vs. Marlon. And I'm your boy Marlon.
And I'm your boy Marlon.
Join us as two childhood friends go back and forth, argue, debate, fight, sometimes maybe even agree on everything from sports, pop culture, and everything in between.
All right, today's episode we have all of the Week 7 action. Steelers, Cam Newton. We'll try not to talk about the Cowboys because if we do, Marlon gets grumpy, and rightfully so. Justin Herbert with his first win, so we'll talk about that. Also, too, World Series is getting ready to kick off Game 6, so we'll see if the Dodgers can close that out tonight. But we're actually going to start a little different with there's new versus that was actually announced. Jeezy versus T.I. Now, this one, it was funny. We were talking about this in the group chat. Busta Rhymes, he's been trying to battle somebody for the longest, so he's just like, I just want to battle. And you may hear my daughter in the background. She's here, obviously, with me. But yeah, so he's been trying to battle, and essentially he called out T.I., and T.I. he said in the nicest way, no, respectfully. So
yeah, I mean, we could call it nice, but that's disrespectful. He said they were two different generations or something like that.
Yeah, two different generations, and then he started giving He did like a 10-minute rant of just comparisons. Like he was like, it's like Tyson versus somebody else. So I mean, one thing that I love when you're as a rapper, as anybody, you're doing something, you want to be known as the best, and he's the king, so he feels like he is known as one of the best, and he just essentially feels like Busta's not on his level.
Yeah, T.I. is one of the more confident people that we have in our society.
Oh yeah, expeditiously.
And he, rightfully so. He could rap. He could rap his butt off. Mm-hmm. But I think people forget, like, verses is really 1-minute snippets of songs. And Busta got a lot of 1-minute snippets he could play.
A lot of features.
He could put his all it is a verse. It don't got to be a whole song. It don't got to be
right.
So he'll give somebody some trouble. But T.I. got a catalog too, so don't get me wrong on that.
He has hits, and when you look at, and I think when I look at this matchup, I honestly thought that Gucci versus Jeezy would have been a more fair matchup. They're both known in the streets. T.I. is too as well, but T.I. also, he reached a certain point, and he's essentially mainstream, all that stuff, and Jeezy not so much. I mean, I think he has a few songs, but for the most part, he's still doing what he's been doing since one of his first albums. So he's not changing his style, whereas T.I. changed his style a lot to kind of cater to a different audience. But hey.
Well, I think T.I. just grew up. I think, like, a lot of these rappers, like, you still got, 40-year-old men rapping about stuff they rapped about when they was 20, 22. And T.I. was one of them people. He could still rap about that stuff, but he also, through life has progressed in his rap. He's not still rapping about the same stuff he was rapping about when we first heard him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he still get to it a little bit, but it's not a full, like, Thug Motivation 101 and TM 103 had the same content on there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and it's just like with Jay-Z. And by the way, everybody, this little girl turned 3 yesterday.
Happy birthday!
Please. Yeah, so one thing too with Jay-Z. Jay-Z's somebody else that I do it all the time. Jay-Z's the type of rapper that I think 10 years ago he was rapping about paintings and different things like that. So we've seen rappers evolve, and Wayne, he's still one of my favorite rappers of all time. He's at a point where he's rapped about everything and he's still putting out content, and I don't feel like he's somewhat evolved or grew up. Like certain rappers or certain artists, there's one thing that you're great at. You might not be. Wayne has been, up until Carter 4, all his albums have been shaky, but he's still been great on the mixtapes, in my opinion. But
your favorite rapper got all them shaky albums?
Post Carter 4. Post Carter 4, yeah. So I will give him that post Carter 4, but yeah, and he's dealt with a lot of back and forth. By the way, I don't know if you've listened to DJ Khaled's podcast. It's called The First One. It's on Amazon Music. but he had Wayne on there, and he's just talking about the podcast is really more so about talking about your first one, your first big hit, how you kind of got to where you were. So it wasn't really about any current stuff or anything that he's done in the past 10 years. This was more so about when you growing up, when you with the Hot Boys and Juvie and BG and all them. So it's honestly a good listen.
There's my dog.
All that stuff. So, but that's a pretty good episode. But this versus should be pretty good. I think the last versus was Ross and 2 Chainz, which it's gonna be hard to top.
No,
that
man, he's missing a lot. They had like the Patti LaBelle.
Oh,
they had Monica Brandy.
Monica Brandy. Well, I'm looking at as far as rappers.
Ones you want to watch?
But yeah, I wouldn't. Patti had one.
Yeah, they did like Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle or something on there, bro.
Oh yeah, how was it?
No.
Yeah, I don't necessarily. D, what's up, man? I told D was he's a huge Wayne fan back in the day. I told him to take a listen to that Wayne, but
boys.
Yeah, so all that. But so let's go ahead and transition to some football. I got some papers today.
Well, you didn't tell us who you thought was gonna win.
We have time. It's not for another month.
We don't need to.
Yeah, we got a lot of time to dissect that, but I think it would be a good matchup if T.I. wants to go towards the mainstream music. He's gonna kill it, in my opinion. Cause
it's hits, man.
It's hits.
A 1 million of a hit.
But now if they're doing stuff like T.I. versus T.I.P. and albums like that versus Thug Motivation 101, when you're on a level like that, now we can really talk about hits. Cause Jeezy got.
Well, I don't think. I mean, if T.I. smart, he's not doing that.
Yeah.
But, like, a lot of people, like, we saw Rick Ross.
Not my king.
Rick Ross is, and I think he won against 2 Chainz, you know, but 2 Chainz put up a fight. But Rick Ross came out right after and said, I got 20 more hits. Right. And it's not many people that really could go another 20. But Rick Ross probably could. Mm-hmm. So T.I. is going to have to play some stuff that, you know what I'm saying, we're expecting him to play that were big songs.
Which, if he's smart, he's going to play what got him there, which is, the hits, the stuff with Rihanna and Eminem and songs like that. Yeah. You got to play it. I just feel like it's cheating. It's a certain point. I mean, I get it.
You rather cheat or lose?
I will play it too. But I'm just saying, like, it's just, are we going to go hit for hit?
You have to. That's what it's about. It's not about, this ain't no B-side.
And that's one thing that
I didn't. B-side battle.
Here, baby. That's one thing that I didn't like necessarily with 2 Chainz. It's like you're using Drake songs and you're using other songs that, yes, I feel like there should be a rule. I need you, we either doing features or we're doing your song, strictly your song.
But why?
Why not?
Because that's his verse, that's his music.
I get that. But if it wasn't for 2 Chainz could have did that No Lie song, because that's when some people knew who 2 Chainz was because of Titty Boy, but a lot of people didn't know who 2 Chainz was until that No Lie song came out. Then at that point, you got Drake on there.
So you telling me that I can't play the song where
we just need to figure out what we're doing. Let's figure out if we're doing features.
I'm playing or just that got my voice on it.
Which is fine. I mean, this is fine.
Monica played a Hit 'Em Up remix.
Oh, Cedric, he was on a few weeks ago. Yeah. He said he need that jacket.
This one?
Yeah, I ain't wearing one.
Hey, man. Hey, said, I can't get this one up. Yeah. Not until they get rid of Norm. Norm's still there. I got to keep this one.
All right. So, Lonnie, what's up, man? So let's get into some football. We got a lot. We got 2 guests coming on later on in the show, but we're gonna get into some football real quick. Sunday night game. I thought that was one of the best games. Is it time to start giving the Cardinals a credit for being one of the best teams in the NFL? Or let's pump the brakes?
I mean, they're still third in their division. Second. Okay.
5-2. Well, here's the thing, because you got you got Seahawks 5-2, you got Cardinals 5-2, and the Rams 5-1. 5-1, my fault. Yeah.
So they're essentially tied for second. So I mean, I think they still got to fight to make the playoffs because they still got a couple division games. That's a big win for them. They beat the 49ers in the division game. They beat the Seahawks in the division game. So that's a huge. That defense is playing really well, man. Kyler Murray's doing a little bit better, taking care of the ball, not giving it away, and you know they're playing well. Buda Baker's playing his ass off. He's showing why he's the highest paid safety in the league, and you know the rest of the guys is on his back. So when you got a defense that's not only getting stopped but creating turnovers and creating points, it's tough, man. Best team in the league, I need to see a little bit more. They had a great game.
One of the best, not the best. I think we know the one undefeated team in the league. I think we can give them the crown for being the best.
I'm not calling the Steelers the best team in the league. I don't think the Steelers are better than the Chiefs.
The Chiefs, I
don't
will say
think the Steelers are better than
this.
some of the teams in the NFC.
I'll tell you this: their offense, they're with Claypool and you have Connor. He's really been in and out of the lineup and stuff. But when you see what they can do defensively, this is why I will put them over the Chiefs. For one, because the Chiefs are in my division, I don't care for them. But defensively, they are a way better team defensively. And if it came down to it, both the offenses can score. Can the Chiefs score a little bit better than the Steelers? Of course. But when it comes down
just
to
a little bit. We haven't seen Ben Roethlisberger in a gunfight, and if he plays the Chiefs, he's gonna be in a gunfight.
Well, he just was in a gunfight with Tennessee. I mean, if it wasn't, they
so Tannehill,
they should have. Well, here they made it to the AFC Championship last year, and
On
you
the
got
back
the
of
best.
who?
And you got the
On the
best.
back of who?
It doesn't matter. A team is a team. You got the best running back in the football, and they have a really good defense. Let's not try to discredit and act like the Titans are just some average team now.
you telling me he got in a shootout with an offense that best players are running back? That's not
It doesn't
that's not a
matter.
fair shootout.
It doesn't matter.
That's you got an artillery of guns and I got a pistol. That's not the same thing.
It doesn't matter. They are one of the best.
So the Titans' offense is equivalent to the Chiefs' offense. Is what you're telling me?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
But all I'm saying is if I could put the best team, I'm looking at all around. And when I look at all around, I look at defense. And the Chiefs have one of the worst defenses. Not one of the worst defenses, but they have a pretty horrible defense. But also, too, going back to that game that we were just on, the Cardinals and the Seahawks. The Seahawks defense is really, really bad. They're not good at all.
They're not what they were.
But they can actually score. So that's why. So a lot of these teams with no defenses, you're looking at teams that don't have the offense, don't have one of the MVP candidates as a Russell Wilson who can score at any moment. So and shout out to Lockett too as well with 15 catches, 200 yards. I mean that dude is.
The Chiefs to me just haven't been knocked off that pedestal to me. They haven't taken a step back. Yes, their defense isn't good. Their defense wasn't good last year. So I don't think, they got, to me, an upgrade at the running back position with Edwards-Helaire and Le'Veon Bell. So, to me, I think the Chiefs are still the best team in the league. And I think there are some teams in the NFC that are probably going to be better than the Steelers. I think Tampa Bay is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think Seahawks are going to be one of them.
Tampa Bay has turned around. Seahawks, I think they'll be there. I still think they'll win the division. But yeah.
I mean, and you got the Rams. The Rams are such an up and down team. They could beat anybody on any given day.
That's one thing too with that team, and also too with the 49ers sticking with that division. You get one day your quarterback looks decent, the next day you're ready to bench him. So it's a lot of teams that are just really up and down and off one good win or a few good wins. But we need to see some consistency out of some of these teams because it's getting ready to be week 8.
And who's the second place team in the Steelers division?
Ravens. Ravens, yeah. They're another team too that 5-1. Sticking with that division, I'm glad you went over there. Odell Beckham, you heard the news about him, torn ACL. It really sucks to see a dynamic player like that go down. 2-part question for you. Is there any way that the Browns could bounce back and possibly make the playoffs without a star like that?
No. It's too many teams in the AFC that are good, even with that extra playoff spot. I mean, just in that division alone, you got the Steelers and the Ravens, right? Mm-hmm. And then, who was it, the Bengals is the 4th team?
Bengals, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think we'll see a division with 3 teams in the playoffs, except for maybe the NFC West with the 49 or the Cardinals, mm-hmm. the Seahawks, and the Rams. Mm-hmm. But no, I don't see it happening. A weapon's being taken away from Baker Mayfield. Like I thought we would see from Baker Mayfield what we've seen from Kyler Murray. With all these weapons, like, you got to be able to put points on the board consistently. You got to be able to take care of the ball. You got to be able to spread it out. I was watching a clip earlier, and they were just giving Tom Brady so much credit for how that Tampa Bay team is really bought in. And with so many weapons, they don't even care who has the big day.
Yeah.
And, and I agree with them. They were saying if Antonio Brown comes in and continues that same mindset, then I think that they'll be the best team in the NFL or in the NFC.
And I love what the coach said. They said, we already have guys that are already on the same page. I think we're seeing Gronkowski turn around and have decent games. And with their running backs, everything is starting to fall into place with that team. But also, like I said, I love what the coach said was if he comes around and he's being a distraction or something around the locker room, we're going to have a problem. So
I agree with that, but I think that's a conversation you have with the player.
Well,
I don't think that's something for the media. Like you don't need to show your cojones in the media.
We've also seen him week 1 and week 2 essentially call out Brady in a press conference. So Bruce is just trying to show that he has.
But that shows me that you're not confident or that you're lacking something or you feel like you're lacking something to feel the need to do that. Mm-hmm. Yes, you can say my quarterback needs to play better, blah, blah, blah. But you're signing a free agent. You're trying to bring him in, make him feel welcomed into the locker room. He's going to make your team better. I just don't agree with how he went about that. I don't care if he tells Antonio Brown that or hell, if he tells the team that. Mm-hmm. But you don't need to tell a room full of reporters that. For what? Right. Hey, you're the coach.
Yeah.
It don't matter what. Like
some coaches just want to just show off and just act as if I'm the better coach. I'm this. I'm that. I'm big and bad. So
look, if Belichick didn't have to do it, you don't have to do it.
Yeah. So, all right. So we're gonna move on to another team with you saying Belichick. Look at you, Segway King over here.
That's what I do.
This is why I didn't want Cam. I've seen flashes of him. And I knew this side would eventually come out. And, I love the marriage with him and Belichick because I feel like they both need each other for Belichick to continue on his legacy and Cam to pick his back up so he can get back to MVP Cam. But with the way that they're playing, I think he has 1 or 2 good games to play. If he doesn't do good, if he's not at least consistent and showing signs of pre-COVID Cam, then I think he's going to be a backup for a while.
Like this year? Like this year?
Yeah, because he got benched already, and Belichick don't play that, so he's already the starter for week 8. But I feel like if he continues to play not so great, and I think this week he has the Bills, which is going to be a huge test, and the Bills are another team. A lot of people run around saying MVP Josh Allen. I never bought into the cheese in that. I thought he's
about 4th or 5th, maybe even 6th on the MVP race.
He's not even in my. He'll be around top 10 or so, but that's another team. So if Cam doesn't have a really really good game, or if he doesn't somehow pull this out, and I think it's going to be interesting because
I feel like there's a reason Belichick went and took a chance with Cam. I don't see him getting benched this year. Because what they have, and Belichick knew this when they went out and got him, is not very good. So, I don't know. I think
be missing the comments. My fault.
I think he'll be what it is. What we also have to take into consideration is the Patriots are down a lot on defense too. They don't have. This isn't the same defense we saw play last year. So a lot of it, the turnovers and stuff does fall on Cam.
What's up?
I feel like he's trying to do a lot, but.
We'll see. Like I said, he got a game or 2, and that's really going to be.
I know people are around.
Brian doesn't really know. Brian don't know football like I know football. So you're right. Carlin, what's up? Yeah. And Carlin, since you're on here, I got to show a little love to the Eagles. I was a little harsh on the Eagles for the first however many weeks. One thing I will say is if you don't necessarily have your team playing, or if it's not a primetime game, or if you're just watching Red Zone, you don't really get to see the ins, outs, the injuries, what the team is going through, what's going on, unless that's your team or if it's a primetime game. They did play the Giants on Thursday night, and when you look at all of the weapons he doesn't have, he's been sent. Both of your tight ends are out. Goddard and Ertz. Deshaun Jackson was finally back for the first time. He's always hurt. Alshon Jeffrey again, always hurt. So, and then also at O-line. So they've had a lot of injuries up and down that offense. I'm not really sure too much about the defense, but they should win the division. If they don't win the division, something's wrong. This is their division to win with both quarterbacks in Dallas out, and Washington and Giants. So it's going to be their division to win, but also too, I don't think that they're going to be out first round wild card. Yeah, so
I mean,
I know
they're going to have 3 wins after this week when they beat the Cowboys, but I'm not giving them any credit for the wins. They beat the Giants and the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm not giving them credit. All I'm basically saying is
I think they beat the 49ers without their quarterback.
Yeah, they're 2-4-1. I mean, they're going to win a division because nobody else really wants to win at this point. But when they make the playoffs, I think that Frankie, Eagles fan too. So what's going on, man?
Frankie, what up? LCB.
But yeah, so we'll see what goes on with that. But we're gonna get into some more football. We got our first guest coming up.
You want AJ on the podcast?
Sure. Let's call it in.
AJ, you live on Marlon versus Marlon right now. What's up, bro?
What's up, man?
Caleb, what up?
What's up with it, bro?
Chilling. What's up? Oh, he got the LSU one. We got to ask him about LSU. Is LSU going to win the SEC this year?
Wait, are y'all live right now?
Yes.
We're live right now. You on the podcast.
Here we go. Let's just be honest with you. Everybody has a rebuilding year. The thing about LSU, and this is the thing right now, we had a quarterback who was waiting his turn to play. We let him play. The best quarterback was not playing. As we seen the other week, the best quarterback is now playing.
Is that the young black kid?
LSU will not win the SEC, but we will be at a good bowl game. We are going to be at another bowl game. We're going to win it. We're going to win a lot of good games. We're going to lose a lot of close games too. We're going to beat Florida, lose to Bama, but we're going to be back in the bowl season.
Okay. Hey, let me hit y'all right back though. I see y'all getting festive over there. Let me hit y'all right back.
Alrighty, what's up, Lil Marlon?
What's up, man? You good?
What's up with my guy? Hey,
When you coming back out here?
what about the Chargers, man? Are they gonna make the playoffs? What's up, man?
Who's your team?
The Steelers.
Since when? Get out of here.
Oh, he did just tell me.
When? He just tell you? He just told you I was a team? He ain't mentioned the Steelers. Get out of here. Hang up. Steelers.
Hey, he said he got drafted by them this year.
Yeah, get out of here.
I was a free agent.
They don't have enough LSU players on their team. It don't count.
Hey, I don't have time for
I
that.
was a free agent. But why can't you answer the question in regards to your team? We're talking about your team, not mine.
What, my team? Well, are we making the playoffs? No, I said we'd be 5-11. With Tyrod Taylor, I don't expect us to go anywhere.
I feel like you guys have too much talent to be 5-11. What's the reason?
I feel like I'm not about to answer questions from you who've never had a team before, and now you sit here and hop on a Steelers bandwagon.
It's not. I'm just asking you a question on your team. This is your team. You should have the
Well,
answer.
yeah, but we have a lot of. Our starting running back is out. Our best player on defense is out. I mean, we had Tyrod Taylor, but one thing I will say.
Both are on defense.
Right, I give you that. One thing I will say, we have our starting quarterback for the future, so I'm good. I'm happy with that.
All right, bro.
All right. Introduce Zoe.
Zoe?
Yeah.
Oh man, Lorenzo Wade. What can I say about Zoe? So I actually knew about. And let me wait till you get on the phone, man.
Go ahead. Okay.
I'll wait till you get on the line and introduce him properly.
Okay. Here we go. He on deep voice and everything.
All right. So we got Lorenzo Wade joining us. Everybody. Like I said, what can I say? I first heard about Zoe. I think I went to a tournament or something up in Vegas in like 2002, high school tournament, and it was this left-handed kid that could do everything on the court, jumping out the gym, then coming back down, hitting jumpers. He was killing. I'm like, damn, who is this dude, right? And then I see he's going to Louisville. I'm like, oh yeah, he nice. And then a couple years later, he ends up transferring out of Louisville and coming to San Diego State. Man, the city was blessed. And that's when I actually met him, was down at San Diego State, but played everywhere from Greece to Puerto Rico, G League, a little bit of everywhere. So what's up, man? Appreciate you joining us.
Man, how you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely,
Man, we good,
absolutely.
man. So, for one, are you somewhere around like Houston area, or I know you all over, man?
You know, I'm actually currently in Fort Worth.
Okay. Oh, dang, you didn't even hit me up.
Oh, you right down the road.
I'm here.
I can't even keep up with you, man.
I'm here until tomorrow. I can't even keep up with it.
I know.
Down somewhere.
I already know. So, I'll ask you this. So, I'm gonna put you on the spot. You went to San Diego State. I need your top 5 players of all time, San Diego State basketball. Who you got?
Top 5 all time. So this is going to be a little bit difficult.
Okay.
Because I didn't see some of these guys play, but you have to add them to the list. So
Okay.
you got to go with Michael Cage, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Michael Cage is San Diego State. I was blessed to be able to play with one of the greatest scorers in Mountain West Conference history, and definitely the greatest scorer in San Diego State history in Brandon Heath.
Okay.
A beast.
Yeah.
You know, he goes by bottoms. You know, we got to have Kawhi Leonard
Yep.
on that list.
Yep.
Some people might say it's a little bit premature based off the fact that, you know, we weren't able to see what they did in the NCAA tournament. But I got to throw Malachi Flynn on that list.
Okay.
And some people might not like the pick,
Okay.
but I got to put Marcus Slaughter in
Oh,
there.
Yeah.
I like more.
In my opinion, I think he's very unheralded. He's one of the best rebounders I've ever seen. He can do it all on the floor. Has a crazy high motor. And to be honest with you, I mean, he's still playing. I think Marcus might be on year 6. No, year 14.
Yeah.
14,
Yeah, he's up there.
of his professional career.
Okay.
And
Okay.
he's played at every level, the highest levels, won EuroLeague championships. Marcus Slaughter is definitely a guy that should be on that list.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, man. If I got to put a team together, I'll take that 5 or 6 y'all had. I'll take that 5 or 6 that y'all had though when you was there.
Brandon Heath,
Yeah.
Car.
Mo, yeah. When you and Mo came back in, I think that's around the time I met you. That was crazy. I mean, you, Mo, B. Heath, like you said, because Brandon's an LA kid, Mo from San Diego. I know you from right up the way in Vegas, but it was a lot of points to be scored and a lot of different guys that could do it.
Yeah, definitely. If it wasn't for, things are a little bit different today. Guys are able to get waivers and things to play immediately. One of my biggest regrets is the fact that I had to sit out that year transferring.
Yep.
Because, we had Marcus that year. So you get all 4 of us on the court, I think, things would have been scary. But, you know how that goes.
Yeah. So we're gonna switch over. And one thing that you did mention just about the tournament, I think it's unfortunate to see all the sports that we have going on right now from every which way. But when I think of those kids that were getting ready to prepare for this tournament, and some of these kids, this is the highest level that they're gonna play. So when you get word that there's just gonna be no NCAA tournament, I mean, I know those like just it had to be just crushing just to. You've worked, and some were seniors, so a good chunk of them were seniors. So my heart just goes out to them, just because you're never going to be able to know what it feels like to play in these different cities when crowds going wild and being that Cinderella team.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I actually, when I got word that the tournament was going to be canceled, I was actually at the Pac-12 tournament. I just watched Oregon State win on a buzzer beater. I believe Arizona and Washington were playing at the time, and texts and things started coming through on the phones, and I felt so bad for those guys, especially, guys that played for San Diego State last season because it was a historic run. I believe it was one of the best seasons not believe it, the truth, it was one of the best seasons in school history, and I was anxious to see what those guys are going to be able to accomplish in an NCAA tournament, not just for the university, but for their stock. Some of those, every year, how that happens. Teams make a run in the NCAA tournament. It makes guys money.
Yeah,
to get some
absolutely,
jobs.
Definitely.
And although FDSU was, on the map last year because they, were ranked as high as they were, I don't think they got as much national coverage as they should have. And the NCAA tournament was going to bring that to them.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what it does, man. I think what that gives them an opportunity to do is play against some of those bigger schools. I remember I think that Sweet 16 run where they play UConn. And, when you get to play against that level of competition, it just opens up everybody's eyes. Like, okay, this isn't just a small school in a nice city that plays against a schedule that might not be as tough as an ACC. These guys can actually hoop.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Zoe's kind of talking about is getting that national exposure against other competition. So there's no asterisk by these wins. Like, they actually matter. They count. You know what I mean? So I'm real sad about not seeing that too, bro. That would have been a good run for them. I think so.
Definitely. So Zoe, switching over to the NBA. Now you're a Lakers fan, am I right?
I'm a LeBron fan.
Oh man.
Smart man.
I'm a LeBron fan.
Oh man.
I've been for a very long time.
So how did it feel rooting for a team that beat the team that you were cheering for about 4, 5, 6 years back?
A win is a win, right?
I give LeBron fans a hard time. Just every time. As a Lakers fan, it's been 10 years with roller coaster of just Kobe days and the retirement and injuries and just having all of these players come in and Magic Johnson and D'Angelo Russell. It's just been a long 10 years for us, but I'm glad we finally got another ring.
You finally got LeBron, is what you finally got.
No, finally got another ring. But I'll ask you this: do you feel that there's a strong chance that we could repeat? And also, too, is there another team, possibly a sleeper team in the league that we should be looking out for?
I think, the Lakers have a really good chance of being able to repeat. I know some things are going to have to happen in free agency. This was a weird season, due to COVID and, the bubble and everything. And then you'll have teams like, the Brooklyn Nets, with those two additions. We all know Golden State's coming back, with the force that they were when they were clicking on all cylinders.
And they got rest, too. I mean, all of them got rest.
Yes, they all have rest. They're injury free, and I believe the season is about to try to kick back up in like December, which is going to be tough on the Lakers and a guy like LeBron. But I mean, he's a bionic man, so he might be able to start the season today and be okay.
Right. Getting ready to turn 36.
Done. As far as the sleeper team goes, I mean, we saw a team like the Phoenix Suns come on really strong in the bubble. I'm anxious to see if they'll be able to duplicate that type of success in the regular season. In different arenas with fans and things there. But I was excited to see that. I was actually, I'm a little bit upset to not see them make the actual playoffs based off of the fact that they, went into the bubble and went 8-0 and were rolling. So I would, say a team like that, of course, you take with the addition of Doc Rivers coaching, the 76ers are going to have to make, a move or two, but they have some pieces there, and, a strong coach. But yeah, the league will be wide open next year.
Yeah. One thing I said this too. I think with Philly, I think they're going to be the same. If not, I mean, I hope that they're able to, just for Doc's sake. I like him as a coach, but we've seen what happened, the ups and downs in LA. So we'll see if he can somehow turn that around. But
man, I'll say this: I think Doc has taken a really bad hit. Like, I don't think coaches lose 20-point leads. Me personally. Mm-hmm. I don't see it, and I don't think that he lost that series for them. But I'm gonna say this about next season: I think whoever out of these top teams that we saw in the playoffs and make deep playoff runs, I think whoever stays the same actually takes a step back. To Zoe's point, you got to add somebody this offseason because everybody else is getting better. All those teams that you didn't have to play against, that you didn't have to beat, they're gonna be that much better next year. So it's gonna be slim. It's gonna be slim, but like you said,
it'll be definitely interesting to see what goes on. I'm anxious to see where a guy like a Bradley Beal ends up. I feel like there's definitely going to be some movement, and he ends up somewhere. He instantly makes the team a whole lot better. A young, hungry, talented scorer. Hopefully he ends up in LA.
And there's been word that Chris Paul, we may try to make a move for Chris Paul. I don't know how that's going to work with him making $40-something million.
Yeah, his contract is crazy.
It's stupid. When he got signed, I was just like, "What is Houston doing? Like, that is way too much money." I mean, he probably got one hell of an agent because he got Man, so
And Chris Paul isn't at that age in his career to where he's gonna carry a team for 82 games. Either,
I will say what he did with OKC. I think they had them projected to win like 17 or 20 something games, and with what he did with those young guys, I mean, he
I stand behind it.
and I'm not your favorite player, so
Since
trust me, I know
because he did the same thing with the damn Hornets and they gave Kobe his MVP. But that's another story. Rest in peace, Kobe.
Oh
yeah,
man.
Chris Paul is a competitor, and you see that he's scrappy. He doesn't stop coming at you. He's going to be tough to move though, just based off the fact that his contract is as crazy as it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see everything how it all shakes out. And as far as the offseason, the draft is coming up soon. Like you said, they're saying late December is when the season is planning to start back up.
So
but
when are they going to do the draft?
I think the draft is. I don't think they have a date yet. I think it's at some point.
They keep moving it back.
Yeah.
Actually, because the draft is supposed to happen in October. And then they moved it back to November. It's going to be difficult to have within this next, realistically, month and a half, 2 months. It's going to be difficult to have the draft, free agency, training camp, all leading up to an NBA season that's supposed to start, late December, early January. That's going to be very difficult. But if anybody can do it, the NBA has shown that they're capable of putting things together and making it work out right. I mean, they definitely set the bar during this whole pandemic, pertaining to how things are run as a league.
Yeah, I think to that point too, it's going to be whoever makes, like, you got to offer these guys big money up front, like a Bradley Beal. You're going to have to throw the Brinks truck at them because you're not going to have a lot of time to go back and forth and let another team offer and stuff like that. So it'll be quick.
Yeah, it'll definitely go very, very fast. Oh, by the way, we were talking about the Lakers.
Yep.
We definitely shout out the fact that a San Diego State guy was with the organization this year, John Pastore. He played with me. He ended up transferring and finishing out at Santa Barbara. But John is actually was with the Lakers this year in a role as, I believe, video coordinator. I actually was in the running for a internship with the Lakers this season. I was close, one of the last couple of guys. Ended up hiring a guy that played at Duke. That's from Los Angeles, named Jamal Boykin. Shout out to JP for putting me on.
Yeah.
But congratulations, John, on that championship.
Boykins he was up from the Bay Area, wasn't he? Or he's from LA?
JP,
No, LA, you're right.
John Pastore. Yeah, John Pastore from Orange County.
No, I was talking about Boykins. Boykins, I wanted to say he went to Cal or something like that too.
He's from LA. He went to Duke and then transferred out, finished at Cal.
Yeah, okay.
Had a professional basketball career.
Yeah.
Hey, I got one question for you before we get going too, man. You brought it back to college and tying everything in. You were one of those guys that I don't know if you ended up going to Louisville straight out of high school, but how was that recruitment process for you? What trips did you take? What did the decision come down to when you were making that decision?
So I went to Arizona State. I visited Tennessee. I visited Boston College. I visited the University of Washington. So when I was transferring from Louisville, I signed at the University of Washington. But how things work differently when you're transferring. So when you're coming out of high school, you sign a national letter of intent that you're actually locked into.
Right.
When you transfer, it's basically like an agreement. So the NCAA isn't as strict with that. And I was headed to Washington and at the last minute decided to go to San Diego State. I met Mo Abakar. I was down there visiting, and the rest is history.
Right.
The recruiting process, back in the day was a little bit hectic just because I was coming out in that 03 class where everything was crazy.
Yeah.
So, that was LeBron, CP3, and that was, J.R. Giddens that ended up playing in New Mexico and in the league.
Yep.
Melo.
The hype around the recruitment process was very hectic. The trips were good, but believe it or not, I actually didn't take a visit to Louisville until after I committed. And I actually didn't visit San Diego State and ended up going there.
Oh,
so
wow.
I didn't end up going to any of the schools that I visited, which is funny.
Hey, so that Washington team was kind of crazy back then, too. That was Lorenzo Romar was still coaching.
Yeah.
Did they still have B. Roy, or was that after B. Roy?
Yeah. So we actually had so my freshman year, I played in the Final Four.
Right.
And Washington was the number 1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament that year.
Yep.
We beat them in the Sweet 16 in Albuquerque. And that was Nate Robinson, Brandon Roy, Trey Simmons.
Simmons was
a lot of guys on that team. When I was supposed to go there, I would have sat out during Brandon Roy's last season there at Washington before he went to the league. But yeah, they had it rolling up there for a minute.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to tie that in. Like I said, that was my first time getting introduced to your game. Not necessarily meeting you, but back in high school going into college. So I wanted to tie that all back in. And I'll say this too before we go, man. We played. I was home from college. I think it was a year you were about to start playing after sitting out. And man, it was a point guard's dream. I was playing with Lorenzo, Keone Watson.
Yeah.
He
gonna be on the show soon.
Keone. And then we had Muhammad and I think one other guy. And my job was so easy.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, here we go. Throw it at the rim. Here we go. Get it to him. So I was like, I could live like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, times have changed. They're a little bit different. When I was going to SDSU, I wanted to. Back at Louisville, we played all TV games. So literally every game I played was on CBS.
Yeah.
And national media exposure. When I decided to go to SDSU, that was back when the Mountain West Conference still had Big Monday games.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm like, that's fine. We'll play some games, off the tube. But I recall an interview with LeBron James, and LeBron said that Marcus Banks was his favorite player. This was back when Marcus was in college, a Vegas guy. And LeBron said he used to stay up late at night and watch Marcus play on Big Mondays. And I remember LeBron saying that was part of the reason why I ended up going to San Diego State. In the year that I became eligible, they got a TV station called The Mountain. And I didn't even know what channel that was. And I was on it. Yeah. But times are definitely different now. Bring Big Mondays back, Mountain West Conference.
They need to.
Yeah, man. I remember just real quick when Richie finally went to San Diego State, he tagged me along to all the parties. So I'm in front of just all the dudes, just drinking, all the parties and all that stuff. So it was just crazy time just being around and obviously I'm no tall guy, so everybody's 6'4", 6'5", 6'8". So it was just a cool time just being around all the fellas. So
Richie had that type of presence. We always Richie, he's small in stature, but he's big in heart. So brought people around. When Richie brought people around, you knew that they were solid people, so you treated them like family. Really quickly, when I first met Richie, I was moving he was my roommate, and they told me I was living with a guy named Richie Williams, and I thought he was a white dude. So I'm in the dorms, I'm getting all my stuff together, and Richie comes walking, and I'm like, "Hey, dog, you in the wrong spot. I don't know what you got going on." But I just figured, the name Richie Williams, I assumed, it was one of my white teammates.
Yeah,
it's funny.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. Richie was on the show earlier, so he was giving Richie had you in his top 5.
Yep.
I asked him, anybody that plays for San Diego State or Malcolm, he's going to be another one. He'll be on the show soon.
You got to get that timing down for Malcolm. Malcolm across that water right now.
I know.
So the timing is crazy.
Yeah. So, but I always like to just get their top 5. But
I wouldn't include myself in the top 5 for the simple reason that I never got us to the tournament. So I can't even do that. I mean, as far as talent goes, I think I'm up there with those guys. Talent-wise.
Facts.
Right.
And I'm respected amongst those guys, but I can't put myself in there, if I wasn't winning. And that just is what it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In order to be in that list, you had to get it done on the court. I had a lot of potential. I was, athletic. I can play multiple positions. But in order for me to be in that top 5, I need to at least get us to the tournament, not to make that happen.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I respect that.
Yeah, well, hey man, we appreciate you for coming on and setting aside some time to come chop it up with us. Oh, by the way, you're a Niners fan, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
How confident are you that you guys are going to, for one, make the playoffs and possibly make some noise down the road?
I think we'll be all right. A key injuries early on. But as you can see, for some reason, people are getting hurt every week. We just have to be able to click at the right time. Jimmy came back and struggled that first game back, but he's been getting it back together.
Okay.
I think we'll be all right. It's only time will tell, and I don't know what they got going on down there. I don't know what they got going on down there in Tampa. They don't need no more players.
Yeah,
man, they got enough offense for everybody. We need some over here in Dallas.
They don't need no more players.
Yeah.
And you go. Which one of you guys are Cowboys fans?
That's me. I'm guilty right now. I'm not proud of it.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
See, I wasn't even going to bring up football because he told me he was a 49er fan, but you right. I ain't got nothing to say about us right now, man. We just made a trade today. I wasn't excited, nothing.
Yeah, no, but it showed. I was never on the Dak Prescott train like that. I felt like they should have paid him, and then I felt like this season, things are going a little shaky for him, and after that injury, it showed that you guys need Dak bad.
And that was my whole thing is what a lot of people weren't taking into account was, Andy Dalton's a veteran, but he hasn't been very successful in his starting career, and he's coming and playing behind an offensive line of all backups. Mm-hmm. Like he has no starters on the offensive line, so it's not going to be a cakewalk for him.
Yeah. And
he's not athletic at this stage in his career, so he's back there sitting duck.
Yeah, I don't follow Cowboys football too much, but I thought last year Jerry was going to pull a move, and you guys were going to put Dak on a hot seat and draft Hurts from Oklahoma.
Oh, that would have been crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a lot of pressure.
You guys were going to make moves, and if they weren't going to pay him, I feel like you guys were going to draft a quarterback, but you ended up with CeeDee Lamb instead, right?
Yeah. Who's having a good rookie season?
He's a good pick. I mean, we see his numbers dropping week by week with
without that.
Yeah. So, but
I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't have a quarterback, but
he don't
have a quarterback. we'll say it. Yeah. All right, so man, we appreciate you for coming on, and we'll be whenever you're in Dallas Fort Worth again, let me know. So let us know so we can link up.
What's up, man?
I'll let you know. I'm going to get out of here tomorrow, but I'll be back shortly. So I'll definitely let you know.
All right, man.
Appreciate you.
All right, thank you, guys.
No problem. All right.
All right.
Man, it's good going down memory lane and just thinking about when you played a game of pickup and stuff like that. So,
bro, it's whenever you get wings like that, and some people on here that listen know Keone. Keone was only 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah.
But Keone used to jump out the gym.
Yeah.
So when I got the ball, like I hit the middle of the court and I got 6'6" here, Keone here, could jump, shoot. Kazo could jump, shoot too.
Yeah.
And then I got Muhammad Abukar, who's just a beast. 6'9", played at Rancho Bernardo. Went to Florida, then came back to San Diego State. So it was like, man, I'm a kid in a candy store.
You're good. One thing I loved always, whenever me, Keone, and Richie would hang out, I'd always ask, like, so if y'all was on the team, who'd be number one, who'd be number two? And they both was just like, oh, yeah. Keone was like, he'll be number one and I'll be number two. Like, that's easy. Mm-hmm. But it's just, I mean, like, they both know each other. And they play so well. And you add, Ray to that, too. And that's all. They don't matter. You got 6 foot dudes in there.
I'm posting all that.
Exactly. Because on offense, you ain't getting nowhere close. So.
Man.
But, yeah, Keone's going to be on the show soon. So we'll get him on.
Big bro on here.
Yeah, so it's going to be... It's gonna be fun. So yeah, we get to our last guest. So Arlen was actually one of the very first people who commented on our post when we had the announcement of the Marlon versus Marlon and this and that. And he was one of the first people that was like, I'm gonna be a guest, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be that, blah 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 blah. And even though it's been a year and some change later, he's making his first appearance on the show. So what's going on, Arlen? How you doing?
What's happening?
Nothing much, bro.
What's good?
I made it.
You made it.
I'm the last Arlen of the sorts to make it. Marlon has been out here like 12 times. It's big to me.
Well, but here's the thing. You got... Huh?
Go ahead.
Okay, you can't be screaming and stuff, man. Well, I know you had your kids practice, but we're trying to film a show here.
hey, I don't know what the volume's like, brother. I'm looking with like an iPhone 8 with headphones on. I don't know what kind of stuff y'all got going on. So I apologize. Is this a good tempo?
Yeah, we good. No, you can be louder if you want. I mean, that's fine. Just don't be screaming at your kids in the process. That's all.
Fair enough,
That's all we have. That's all we have. But no. So, anyways, yeah. So, Carl's been on a few times, but now we got Arlen on. But anyways, Arlen, I got some beef with you.
Uh-oh.
So,
Hey.
Not like my Twitter beef, is it?
no, it's not that bad. So my take on Tua was I'm glad that Tua's getting in there. He's starting this coming up Sunday. I love it. You draft him that high for a reason. If healthy, Tua was always going to be the guy. It doesn't matter that they were 3-3. They didn't necessarily have a winning record. Fitzpatrick.
Why do you just slide if healthy in there? As if
Because obviously
he's not coming off of a crazy ass injury.
he was, but if healthy, if you're a coach or GM, if healthy, you're not going to play somebody like that.
I'm not.
So here's what I'm saying. So as a and I don't know, Marlon, if you wanted to give a take first at all before I went.
No, go ahead. You the guest. Let's go.
Okay, fair enough. So all I was saying is, if you can recall, this is a lengthy answer, but if you can recall, Joey Bosa, as a Charger fan, he came on, got drafted early. Everybody was a little bit off about it. They didn't know if they wanted Jalen Ramsey or not, right? And so Joey Bosa then had a contract holdout in which he didn't play the first 4 games. And so the whole San Diego fan base hated Joey Bosa before he
I did, 2016, I remember. Right? Yep.
Right. And so he had to go out and have a season of the ages in order for the San Diego fan base back to follow him. Now you're coming back here. Tua is in a little bit of a different situation, but they're 3-3 right now, right? This past year is down to a 3-3, second in the AFC East, and they're playing well. Granted, their offense isn't as productive as it could be. They're playing well. I think their next 2 games are against the Rams and the Cardinals. Both are 2 games that they probably will lose. So why not let Fitz lose those 2 games? And so instead of Tua coming into a losing situation where they're a potential playoff team right now they're 3-5 when he comes in, and the Dolphins fan base isn't so expectant of making it to the playoffs. It's now he's playing with only the cards on his side. So if he does do bad right now and he loses to the Rams and Cardinals, which they should, then people are going to be like, damn, Tua's 0-2 and now knocked us out of the playoffs. And so they're going to be a bit more upset with him than they would be if he was coming into a losing situation. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
I think that he can play. He didn't. Go ahead.
I agree with you, and I didn't even take it that far. I was just thinking, well, first, we haven't seen the Dolphins, in contention halfway through the year, and I don't know how long. And like the reward for a guy that gets you there is you get benched. Like Tua hasn't played a football game in what, a year and a half, maybe 2 years almost.
Right. Exactly. So that now, if he comes out and is rusty and loses 2 games, the Dolphins fan base is going to be like, "Fuck Tua." This isn't fair to him.
Okay. All right.
Because he didn't have a chance. Right? He's coming in late. He's coming off an injury. Hasn't seen the field. Not to mention, don't get me wrong, Tua was good, but when he was at Bama, he was throwing to wide open receivers now.
And he was on superior teams every year, offensive line, everything. Right. And now his first game is against Aaron Donald. Good luck.
So you guys are thinking Fitzpatrick is going to take you to the playoffs, and you guys are going to win some games?
No, I'm saying
hold on.
These 2 games and knock them out. If he knocks them out of the playoff contention by losing to the Rams and the Cardinals, and the next game is against your Chargers, you probably should beat them also.
Arlen, you're
like, all right, bring him in.
For one, your Chargers too.
My Chargers is gone. My Chargers is in San Diego.
2. What's 2 games gonna make? I mean, you draft a guy that high. Fitzpatrick is one of the best backups you'll ever have. Tua is. Here's the thing. It's not like
a starting quarterback in the NFL.
He could be a starter for you.
He's a starter. I'm just saying.
No, he's not.
There's not 30 quarterbacks better than him.
He is another Jameis Winston.
Okay, that's fine.
That's what he is. Fitzpatrick. That's what he is. He's just another Jameis Winston who sometimes he has really, really good games and he'll have horrible games. But if it's not like he's sitting behind and learning behind a Rodgers or a Brady or somebody like that, it's Ryan Fitzpatrick. What are you really going to learn from him? So you can get experience from him. Okay, cool, but it's not like he's a Hall of Famer that you're sitting behind.
That's
what do you have to lose?
Really disrespectful because he's in like
what has he won?
He's in year 14 or 15,
and how many years has he been a backup?
And he's still a starting quarterback.
Because the alternative, they have no other option.
No, but he's not just been a
Tannehill was the guy.
But I'm just
and
saying,
then he got paid.
You've got to let this guy develop, bro. He hasn't seen a football field in a year and a half, 2 years. He's not ready to play an NFL football game, bro.
How do you know?
Because you don't. There's been no preseason. He hasn't got. He's gotten.
This is his preseason. They know they're not making the playoffs and winning the Super Bowl this year. So why not throw him out there?
Right now, they don't know that.
They're in the second place in the division, bro. And Fitzpatrick gives them the best chance to win football games.
So you're telling me they have a chance of beating the Chiefs with Fitzpatrick?
They don't have to beat the Chiefs to go to the playoffs. Is
that what it is? Yeah, we want to make it to the playoffs, man. You take one game at a time. But yeah, they can't beat the Chiefs right now. But who's to say that Patrick Mahomes don't dislocate his knee again? I forbid. I mean, he's very injured, but
that's the Charger spirit. Let's go.
Right. No, but this season has been full of injuries. So you just keep one game at a time. Now, if it doesn't look good, what are those 2 games? Like you just said. Now he's going against. He'll start his first game against the Chargers, the Broncos, the Jets, and the Bengals. If you wait 2 games to see if they go 3-5. Why wouldn't you want to open up with those 4 games? I mean, granted, he can do great, and I hope he does do great because I like Tua, but you're just putting him in an unfair position right now.
And as a coach, I don't know why you do that as a coach either because as a coach, if he comes in and loses, your job's on the line. Tua's going to be there next year. So as a head coach, I'm not putting a rookie into this situation. I'm trying to get as many wins as possible, and then we'll go from there. If Fitzpatrick would have came out 0-4, 0-5, or 1-5, 2-5, like your team and my team
now the pressure will be on him. There's less pressure on him now because then he's getting benched.
They're in second place.
They're not gonna.
They're not making pressure on him now.
Because he knows. I'm telling you, it's not like he's in a situation where they're a game or 2 away from the last game of the season, and he needs wins to make the playoffs. Like the Dolphins know they're in a rebuilding season. Fitzpatrick just isn't the guy.
Right now, they're 1 game out of the playoffs. That's all I'm saying. They're 1 game out of the playoffs.
It's week 7. Are we really going to do a playoff picture right now in week 7?
You just told the Eagles fans that they were going to the playoffs.
With the Eagles, it's theirs to lose. No other team in the NFC East
should even talk about the playoffs. I'm just saying, you just brought the playoffs into the conversation.
We're not going to do a playoff picture. All I said was this is their division to win. That's all I said about the Eagles.
You said they'll get into the playoffs. And
they should make the playoffs. And when you look at the division, who else is going to make the playoffs? So
all I'm saying is with one game out and halfway through the year.
It's not even halfway yet.
But go ahead. Plus halfway.
But go ahead.
You have a chance to make the playoffs if you're 1 game out. That's all I'm saying.
And they still could. Now, this could... Arlen, I'm going to let you go in a second. This could be either... Obviously, 2 situations, really good or really bad. But what do you have to lose at this point? He's cleared. The doctors say he's healthy. You know Fitzpatrick isn't going to be your future of the franchise. You draft a guy that high for a reason. And also, too, when you look at a lot of these other teams in the league, when you look at Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, a bad example, but he was a young player starting out. You have, obviously, with us. Well, no, I'm saying the league is shifting towards a lot of younger quarterbacks, and I think that's just the direction they want to go. Fitzpatrick makes a great backup.
And what I'm saying is,
Tua is going to be the guy forever. Don't get me wrong. Tua is going to be the guy, but don't start him off on a bad slate. I would wish.
Okay, well, either way. Okay, perfect example. Either way, starting off next year, okay, bam, he's starting quarterback, and he blows, 0-4. What are you going to say then? Like, you'll never know what you have until you roll the dice. He's your franchise quarterback. That's
wait 2 games.
I'm saying wait next year.
It don't even matter. Like, that's the thing.
I haven't seen a rookie quarterback come in and do great since Dak Prescott.
Herbo.
Technically Mahomes.
Who's Herbo?
Justin Herbert. See, Chargers fan. Let's go.
And Mahomes. Well, he's 1-5 or something like that. So
he got his first win. Now, typical Chargers.
Right?
But I will say this, Arlen, and I know you watched the game because you're one of the biggest Charger fans I know. Seeing him.
I'm a Jaguars fan. Is why I watch.
Jaguars.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, forget that team that left us in San Diego.
Please tell him, man.
Anyways,
don't know.
just seeing how Justin Herbert got the 15 minutes before, 5 minutes before, whatever, and he went out there and played, looked so comfortable. We went up against the Chiefs, the Saints, and Tampa Bay. We gave up an early lead. I think we have a lot of issues on the defensive end, but offense, I'm happy with where we're at. We finally got our first win over your Jaguars, which I don't know, you've never talked about the Jaguars once. But, I'm happy with that we got our franchise quarterback. And if we can get some of these injuries together and possibly get, I love Austin Eckler, but maybe get another solid, more all-around running back, I think we'll be good on the offensive side.
And for the record, Patrick Mahomes didn't start
as
a rookie.
Yeah, I know. But that's what I was saying. It was the second year is when he played, but he sat behind Alex Smith. So it's kind of like a rookie, but he's not.
Alex, that's what I'm saying should have happened with Tua. That's all I'm saying. We see it with all the top quarterbacks set behind somebody. Like I think Tom Brady set behind Drew Bledsoe.
Yes, but also
Patrick and Bledsoe aren't similar?
Yeah, Fitzpatrick and Bledsoe?
Yeah. What does Drew Bledsoe won?
Whoa.
Well, nothing is the answer.
Yeah.
Drew Bledsoe's a little better than
come on now. That was. Come on now. Yes.
But nonetheless,
why?
The point is sitting behind and watching film at the least and seeing the speed of the game is a lot faster. It's not Bama anymore. So, either way, he's going to start. We'll see how he does. I hope the best for him this week. And there you go.
So on to our Lakers, man. For one, cheers to 17. It's been a long 10 years, and it's good to see that we're back on top. Now we're gonna need a lot of rest. Danny Green's been coming out saying that the players most likely won't come and start the season because obviously they're a little bit older, need some rest and all that.
Danny Green.
What off-season moves do you think we need to make?
Me personally, I think you need to get Rondo back. I don't know what his cost is going to be.
I think he earned it. Yeah, he earned himself a contract. Him and Dwight. I think they both earned themselves contracts.
Well, I don't think he needs to earn anything. He's fucking Rondo.
All right.
the best playoff guards of our time. But I think as far as off-season signings, I think a huge signing would be Jeremy Grant. He's a free agent, power forward. The Lakers' biggest thing is size. And so if they can keep a power forward that's athletic and size, not only take them away from the Nuggets, but add somebody who's developed an outside corner shot would be perfect for LeBron. And so I think Jeremy Grant would be something that, if they could find a way to push, would be a huge signing.
Yeah,
I like that signing. I think they need a little bit more offense in free agency, but I like Jeremy Grant. And he comes from a great basketball family, so. Yeah,
he's a nice role player. And as far as, I don't know if they need that much. I think they need shooting. Much more offense, I don't know. I'd rather get a defensive guy. Because Caruso, man, I love Caruso, but he just fouls too much in crucial times.
He'd be wild,
so
man.
I think they need to.
I think Caruso got to stay.
He's wild. He's a young, scrappy player. He's wild. He's kind of like defensively. I wouldn't put him on the level of Rondo, but you kind of see some flashes of a younger Rondo with him being all over the place. But yeah, I just definitely think that we need. We just need. There's been rumors of Chris Paul. There's been rumors of Derrick Rose. We had talked about it. I don't want Derrick Rose starting at all. But as a backup, if he can give us at least 12 to 15, and just as a backup, I wouldn't hate it. But I don't want him. Yeah, I don't want him starting at all.
Derrick Rose is not somebody to add. But this is what I'm saying. with the short off season, they need somebody that's going to take some pressure off of LeBron and AD on the offensive end and carry them, help them get some wins throughout the regular season, really at this point. But defense, yes. Although I think they were a good defensive team until they got into the bubble and it became AAU and everybody just started scoring everywhere.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I think the Lakers, they have to improve in the offseason. If they don't, I don't think they repeat.
And then we just talked about this.
Who could they get in the offseason that's going to carry them?
Somebody just commented and said Gallinari.
Bradley Beal.
Gallinari.
Bill's going to want too much money, though. That's the only thing. We got two max players now, so I don't know how it's possible. Danny Green.
Aren't they about to get Kawhi?
Yeah, I think they always have to restructure if that was the case.
But that's what I'm saying.
Well, no, because it was going to be either LeBron and Kawhi or the two max players.
Oh, I thought he was on the way.
I think they need to get out. I think that if they need to build a solid team, man. The problem that they were going to run into against the Clippers or anybody was the team basketball.
The bench,
with the Celtics run or the Raptors run. They need to run some teams. So, like, you bring in a Wesley Matthews who does it on both sides of the ball. He can shoot and play defense, and you just build a team of 4 solid role players that can dash and shoot shots with AD running it. I think that their minutes, they can work out the minutes.
Well, as long as they're and who?
Avery Bradley.
Yeah, that's another thing too, because I think he signed for a 1-year deal though. I think 1, maybe 2.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Yeah, we got a lot of these players. They only signed for 1-year deals. Danny Green was the only one that I know for sure signed I believe a 4-year deal for $30 million. So I think we're gonna have to.
Well, I just think Avery Bradley's a cheaper Wesley Matthews because Wesley Matthews is coming off a good season in which they outperformed themselves. Yeah, he's gonna be a little bit more expensive than trying to keep an Avery Bradley.
And a lot of our role players, they took minimums. Like I said, I think Rondo and Dwight, they're not gonna want to make league minimum anymore or $5 million or whatever it is. They got a ring. So
his fiance playing LA, he's staying. He ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Even if they offer him, you know, they said Golden State might be trying to reach out to offer him something. So
he might go to Golden State.
So that's just what I heard. So
he might go to Golden State.
Now looking at Giannis, Arlen, where do you see any landing spots for him?
I mean, I hope he stays in Milwaukee strictly because I hate the Warriors. But why wouldn't he go to the Warriors? I'm trying to
or somewhere.
Myself, it doesn't make sense, but like, why wouldn't he?
Do you think he's the type of player to where he's like? You think he's the type of player where he's going to want to win in Milwaukee and just stay there as somebody like Jordan or Kobe would, or you think he's gonna?
He's not Jordan or Kobe though. He's Charles Barkley right now.
Ooh, I like that.
He's an MVP, but he's not gonna win nothing there.
I like that.
He can't be the best player on a championship team. I don't see that happening. I think he needs to go
be the best player on the championship team. He may not be the best offensive weapon. I think they need a scorer behind him.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I mean when I say best player.
That's what I mean. All around player. I think Giannis would be the best player on the team.
Because we've seen situations like we'll say Kyrie Irving. Like he was really good with Cleveland, but it took him to get alongside. And I think we'll see a version of Kyrie again this year with KD that elevates him to a championship level. But we saw when he left LeBron how difficult he had it. Like sometimes you just need to be
okay with being Robin.
Be Robin.
Kyrie is off, man. Kyrie's just off.
No, Kyrie, he's a head case. He's a head case for sure.
Yeah. All right, Arlen. Last thing we got for you. I know you're a big baseball person. I know that we almost had it up against the Dodgers. Well, kind of. But looking into this World Series now, I mean, the Dodgers going to close it out tonight?
I hope not. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm a huge Mookie Betts guy. I think he's great both on and off the field. In fact, I like Clayton Kershaw. I mean, I think he's one of the greatest.
Decent game yesterday or last week.
Right?
Yeah.
But forget the Dodgers. I mean, the Rays got Hunter Renfroe from the Padres. I got Manuel Marzo. So I'm going for the Rays, brother. I hope that they finish it out better.
Okay.
No, that's what happens, man. Players do really well in San Diego, and then they go and they leave a championship. They go win a championship somewhere else.
Hey, it's true, man. Unfortunately,
I mean, shoot, look at Reggie Bush.
Well, we don't win one at some point, I believe, man. I'm out there with my arms in the outfield. Like, it can happen. It can happen.
Yeah, it can happen. I think the Dodgers are showing right now. They just have a lineup that's crazy. That young kid from the Rays is hitting his butt off though, but just whole up and down the Dodgers lineup is a threat to do something. It's so tough to pitch against that.
It's stupid.
And by the way, too, I think
pitching is killing it.
I think Game 4's the ending in that sequence was something out of a video game. I mean, just like that. how wild the game was. I mean, so but we'll see how it plays out, man. I forgot to turn the TV on so we can see what the score is, but
well, that's just what happened. I mean, that would have been the same exact play. I don't know if you guys remember when Derek Jeter made that crazy play where he made a late cutoff and pitched it to the catcher to tag the guy in the World Series. Like, we've seen crazy plays like this, but I mean, we haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah.
That was some 2020 shit. I'm like, what is going on here? Bro turned third and tried to stop, did a front flip ball, then didn't know who had the ball,
Right.
and then still dove in even though he saw the catcher wasn't even there. Like, bro, you could walk.
Yeah, for real.
With the ball right now. What are you
Crazy.
for?
And then was looking for somebody to help him up, and nobody.
It's right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Hey, well, Arlen, we appreciate you for finally coming on to the show.
Yes, sir.
I'll have to try to squeeze you in whenever you're at practice or whatever the case is, and I promise we'll get you on again before Carlin gets back on.
Yeah, because I don't want to talk about the Eagles anyway.
Marlon, and Arlen.
Hey,
Marlon, and
you
Arlen.
said, hey, no, you starting to sound like Carlin now.
Exactly.
Hey, fuck it. Marlon, Arlen, and Carlin, man. Let's just keep it rolling. We'll go as long as we can. But thank y'all for having me. Love what you guys are doing. Pushing it. Hey, I'm going to be a little proud sponsor. Family's coming up. I don't know what family is, but I know that your promos are perfect for it, Marlon, because I'm out here repping family like nobody's business.
Hey,
I don't even know what the hell it is. But, hey,
Sneak
family.
preview. It's gonna be a clothing line and some. It's gonna be a clothing line and some real estate stuff going on. I'll say that much.
Hey, fair enough. Well, hey, keep doing what y'all are doing, man. Appreciate it. And if I don't hear from you for the rest of the year, or Thanksgiving at least, have a great holidays and much love.
Hey, appreciate that, man. You over here getting all sentimental and stuff, man.
That's
you know?
usually this
That's
part.
me. That's my thing, man.
Nah, but
Hey, you see what I do?
Yeah.
Nah, but same to you, bro. Much love to the missus, Helix High School, and the boys too, bro.
Fair enough, brother.
All right, fam. We'll talk to you.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Go.
Hey, man, you know what I realized?
Talk to me.
It's a lot of connections between Still Kane and Helix. I feel like y'all like really the little bros. Y'all like,
It's
you know what I'm
crazy.
saying?
Opened in 2000, and
I used to want to go there so bad.
Yeah, I was so
With my
mad.
cousin.
I was so mad when my parents was like, "Yeah, you going to Still Canyon?"
I was so glad I
was like, man, why? And then it was crazy. So, because I wanted to go because my dad stayed right by Monte Vista, my mom stayed by Mount Miguel. So I was like, oh, I'm good. I can go to either one of those two. So, and then they told me Still Canyon. I was like, man. So first day of school, I'm walking around. I see Richie in some lime green boots. He was wearing some lime green boots and a lime green button down.
He was like, that got to be my best friend.
And I was like, no, I know him from Skyline.
Okay.
So I saw him and I was like, Richie. He was like, what's up, man? And so we shook hands and everything. I was like, I didn't know he was going here. And he was like, yeah. And so we chopped it up. And he was like, hey, come all 4 years with me. And I was like, I ain't got no choice anyway. I can't leave unless I get kicked out. So, yes.
I was not expecting boots.
Lime green. I think,
but in his defense, we was on some crazy stuff back then as far as what we was wearing in the color.
Oh,
man,
man,
it's funny.
He knows exactly.
Brought that up when he was on the show.
He knows exactly which ones I'm talking about too. So.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a little clip out of this and tag him.
Edit my reaction. Much love, Richie.
You almost spit all over you.
Man, I'm glad I didn't take a drink. It would have been gone.
Oh man, if I got anything else, man, I think we good. Just some more NFL real quick. I think Packers, that we all knew Aaron Rodgers was going to be pissed off and come and throw a million touchdowns, so they got to win. Steelers defense. Here's the thing: if the because Kelsey would have made that kick, that would have been one good overtime between the Titans and the Steelers. So Gronk, it looks like Gronk is back with Brady. That offense is gelling together, and then I believe week 9 because I think he's spinning through week 8. So because I think he's got that Kareem Hunt suspension. So.
And he's fighting another case too that might give him some time.
Jesus.
But I hope he gets out there, man. I want to see it.
Yeah.
Because when that flash he had in New England with Brady,
yeah,
I think it's like 80 yards in a touchdown or something in one game.
Yeah. And they're gonna find a good way to use him too. I mean, when you got weapons all around, but Godwin has been in and out the lineup. Mike Evans is we haven't really heard too much of him. But Brady is like when he played us, 5 touchdowns to 5 different receivers. So he's definitely going to be spreading the ball around. One other thing too I want to talk about is Odell. Looking at what happened,
He's gonna be gone.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you
He's gonna
think?
be gone. I don't know where he ends up, but I don't see him back in Cleveland unless Jarvis Landry stays and they work out some kind of best friend deal. I'm just saying I don't think so though.
I just think he's too dynamic, prolific to be paired up with a quarterback like Baker. Not to say Baker's not a great quarterback.
They play against the Cowboy every game. He would be
he'd be great.
Yeah.
But I mean, or against Seattle, because Seattle is essentially just like you guys, but they can score and not turn the ball over or whatever. But it's going to be good to see him. But I would love to see him paired up with a somewhat of a better quarterback. Not saying Rodgers or Brady, but just better quarterback like maybe Phillip Rivers or something.
On that note,
Arthur Blank, if he just stay up top. Don't come down on the field. Every time you come down,
Falcons?
Yes. Every time you come down, Todd Gurley can't even.
Or just throw the ball to Julio more. He's still really good.
Calvin Ridley too. I mean, they got weapons. That's another team where it's like they should be doing a lot better than what they are. But yeah, so we'll see how it all plays out. Do you think your coach gonna last the whole year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jerry Jones was doing an interview saying that we have our guy, and
I don't think it's the coach right now, man. Like, he's not missing no tackles. He's not missing blocks.
Did he bring his whole coaching staff?
I think that's one of the biggest problems that we're having right now is we don't have Chris Richard manning that defense. Mm-hmm. If he was a defensive play caller last year, secondary coach, and he was a big reason that we were competitive on defense. Not great by any means, but competitive. He was from the Seahawks.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see how everything all plays out. But other than that, that's really all I got. Chargers aren't in last place anymore, so that's always a good.
Until they play the Broncos.
We're not in last place anymore, so
I feel like we are. I don't think we are on paper, but we need to be.
Nah, Giants. You guys got one more win in the Giants.
That's crazy. But anyway, before we get out of here, man, I want to give a shout out to my really Cinco Young. Go download some of his music, man, on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever. That's CINQO, Young. And also my bro, Slim Mucho. Listen to both of them, man, rap, good music. And shout out to Jers, man, Slim Mucho, get better. He was diagnosed with COVID, so he battling that right now, man. Much love to you and your daughter. Hope y'all are okay, bro.
Other than that, Dre about to hit the weights. Good show. Yeah, man, we out of here,
too. You've been hitting
too.
the weights this whole time. You not fooling us. We know you've been lifting weights, talking trash.
Exactly. Yeah, shoot. Other than that, we all good, and we'll catch y'all next week. Peace.
We out.
It's my imagination. All the topic was